It was supposed to be an ordinary day at Shepard Middle School in Deerfield, Illinois, but on February 5, 2025, one mother's worst fears became a reality. Her 13-year-old daughter returned home visibly shaken, struggling to process what had happened. During gym class, she and other girls had been expected to change in the presence of a biological male. The girls, uncomfortable and confused, refused to undress.
So what happened was my daughter and all of her PE fellow girls, they wanted their locker room back. They had originally decided on their own that they weren't going to be changing in front of this student. So they had tried to do basically their own protest and not change in front of the student. So they decided one day to just not wear their PE clothes. They went to not change.
But what followed was even more alarming. The next day, school officials stepped in. Reports suggest that the girls were called into an administrator's office by the assistant principal, Kathy Van Treese, Joanna Ford, Ginger Logeman. They questioned the girls and then escorted them back to the very locker room they had tried to avoid and forced them to change in front of the boy. The message was clear. Their discomfort didn't matter. Their objections had no place in the new rules of so-called inclusivity. What happened in that school was more than just a policy dispute. It was a moment that exposed the deeper reality of what is happening in schools across the country. When privacy, safety, and biological reality conflict with ideology, it's young girls who are expected to sacrifice. Weeks later, the controversy erupted into public view. At a heated school board meeting on March 13, 2025, parents packed the room, divided between those who believed in protecting sex-based rights and those who prioritized a new definition of inclusion. The mother at the center of it all stood before the board and demanded answers.
My name is Nicole Georges, and I'm here to demand that the locker rooms and bathrooms at District 109 be designated as biological male and biological female, as there already is a gender-neutral option. The girls want their locker rooms and bathrooms back. They want their privacy back. This is why I'm here tonight. My 13-year-old daughter's well-being and mental health and privacy is at stake. This nightmare began on February 5th when my daughter was using the girls' bathroom and was stunned that a biological male student was using it as well. She came home frightened and was extremely upset. I asked her to talk with her teachers and find out more information. She was told by the administration that a student can use the bathroom as well as a female locker room because they now identify as female. I was sent an email to the teachers involved and received a call from Principal Wegley. He verbally reiterated that under Joanna Ford's direction and their legal counsel that the student could use both the locker room and bathroom. I expressed that the school was in clear violation of federal policy. The Trump administration issued an executive order restricting biological males from participating in sports and accessing female locker rooms. That day, I filed a civil rights complaint on behalf of my daughter with the Department of Justice. It has now been referred to the Department of Education. A federal complaint has been filed with the district to protect the students. The situation went from bad to worse. A few days later, the male student was present in the girls' locker room. Feeling violated, the girls made the choice to not change into their PE clothes with a biological male student present. The next day, Assistant Principal Kathy Van Treese pulled the girls into their office, questioning them. The same day, Assistant Superintendent Joanna Ford, Kathy Van Treese, and multiple teachers all came into the girls' locker room, making them change into uniform. This went on all week with the addition of Ginger Logeman. My daughter refused to take part in having her privacy being violated. How dare they? She ran out and called for me for help. Principal Wegley was offering my daughter a new PE class. The answer was no. She is not changing for the remainder of the year, and she is not changing into another class. The girls just want their privacy and they want their locker room back. There are gender-neutral options. This is my daughter's story and the story of many other young girls who have been forced at the difficult age to do something they know and most adults know is wrong. Do the right thing, Deerfield, and give these girls their locker room and bathrooms back. Allowing biological males to access girls' locker rooms sets a dangerous precedent that erodes the very foundation of female privacy and safety. By making this decision, the school board is not only disregarding the concerns of young female students and making their families, but also establishing a legal and policy framework that will make it increasingly difficult to protect the integrity of female-only spaces in the future.
But the response was predictable. School officials stood firm. Some community members dismissed the concerns altogether, claiming that discomfort with these policies was nothing more than outdated thinking. Others even suggested that objecting to the presence of a biological male in a girl's locker room was no different than historical discrimination. But is that really the case? For generations, sex-based privacy wasn't about exclusion. It was about dignity. It was about ensuring that young girls never had to justify their right to feel safe in a space meant for them. What happened at Shepard Middle School is not an isolated incident. It is part of a larger movement, one where parental authority is being stripped away, where traditional values are dismissed as intolerance, and where ideology is prioritized over common sense. The civil rights complaint remains unresolved. The school district refuses to back down. The administrators involved offer no comment. But the question remains, who is standing up for these girls? Because if the right to privacy can be erased in a school locker room, where does it end? If we stay silent now, what will be taken next? The fight for children's rights, for parental authority, for the values that built this country? It doesn't end here. Some battles must be fought.